Hi everyone, today we're going to go over lesson 2-2, linear relations and functions. As usual, pause the video as needed to take notes and to go ahead and try on the U-tries. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so linear relations and functions. All right, so state whether g of x equals 2x minus 5 is a linear function, right, yes or no, and explain. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and look for and see is if the exponent of our variable is 1, and it is. I don't see anything here, and there are no special symbols. So yes, it is a linear function because it does follow the format of mx plus b. Our slope is 2, and our y-intercept is -5. This time they want us to go ahead and look at p of x equals x cubed plus 3. And then write if it's a linear function, yes, no, and explain. So we're going to look at our exponent. We have an exponent of 3, so my answer is no. So this is going to be a cubic function because the exponent is 3. And for this example, we have t of x equals 4 plus 7x is a linear function. Is it? And yes, it is because it does follow the format of mx plus b, just it's going to be plus b plus mx. So yes, it is a linear function, and we can again tell that because our exponent here that we don't see is 1. Our slope would be 7, and our y-intercept would be 4. All right, so go ahead and give this a try. You have h of x equals 3x minus 2. Is it a linear function? And explain why or why not. All right, so you should have looked at the variable here, and we should see that it has an exponent of 1. So because of that, it is a linear function. And my slope is 3, and my y-intercept is -2. So our answer is B. All right, go ahead and try this one. F of x equals x squared minus 4. Is it a linear function? And explain why. So this should actually say x squared minus 4 for your reference. All right, so you should have picked no because the exponent is not 1. All right, so next we have you try number 1C, state whether g of xy equals 3xy is a linear function and explain. All right, so you should have looked and saw that we are multiplying 2 variables, so that does not work for us. It is not linear, so our answer is C. No 2 variables are multiplied together. All right, so for our next example, we have the linear function f of c equals 1.8c plus 32. It can be used to find the number of degrees Fahrenheit f of c that are equivalent to the given number of degrees Celsius c. On the Celsius scale, normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. What is it in Fahrenheit? So we're going to go ahead and take our c value, and we're going to substitute that in to get f of 37 equals 1.8 times 37 plus 32. So when we simplify that by doing 1.8 times 37 and adding 32, we get 98.6. So the normal body temperature in degrees Fahrenheit is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. So do make sure if they're talking, they do ask for the units of measure. Do you pay close attention to that? For our next example, we have the same equation, but now we want to know there are 100 Celsius degrees between the freezing and boiling points of water, and 180 Fahrenheit degrees between these 2 points. How many Fahrenheit degrees equal 1 Celsius degree? So we're going to divide 180 Fahrenheit degrees by 100 Celsius degrees to get 1.8. So 1.8 Fahrenheit is equal to 1 degree Celsius. All right, here's U-try number 2A. The linear functions d of s equals 1/5 s can be used to determine the distance d of s in miles from a storm based on the number of seconds s that it takes for it to hear thunder after seeing lightning. If you hear thunder 10 seconds after seeing lightning, how far away is the storm? So go ahead and give this one a try. All right, so looking at this one here, we're just gonna go with, we have input 10. So we're gonna do d of 10 equals 1/5 times 10. So that equals 10 divided by 5, which equals 2. So our answer is 2 miles. All right, so here's another you try. The linear function d of s 1/5 s can be used to determine the distance in miles from a storm based on the number of seconds s that it takes to hear thunder after seeing lightning. If a storm is 3 miles away, how long will it take to hear thunder after seeing lightning? So give this one a try. All right, so this time we don't know s, that's what we're solving for. So we're gonna say 3 equals 1/5 s. So to cancel out the 5, we're gonna multiply each side by 5. In doing that, we get 15 equals 1 s. Well, this one is redundant, so we just get s equals 15. So our answer is 15 seconds. All right, so we have standard form of a linear equation. The standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers with the greatest common factor of 1, and a is greater than or equal to 0, meaning that our a value is positive, and a and b are both not 0. So for example, 3x plus 5y equals 12. Our a value would be 3, our b value would be 5, and our c value is 12. Pause as needed so that you can go ahead and copy this down. All right, let's take a look at example 3. We have y equals 3x minus 9. We want to write this in standard form and then identify a, b, and c. So we're going to take our original equation. And in standard form, we have x and y on the same side. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. So we would just do minus 3x, minus 3x. And as a reminder, our format again is a x plus b y equals c. So when we do this, we now have negative 3x plus y equals negative 9. We're going to multiply both sides, or you can also divide both sides by negative 1. When we do this, our a value now becomes positive, but what we do to one side, we do to the other. And we're left with 3x minus y equals 9. So this is standard form. A would be 3, b would be negative 1, and c would be 9. All right, go ahead and try this one. Write negative y equals negative 2x plus 5 equals, or negative 2x plus 5 in standard form. So go ahead and pause as needed so you can work this one out. All right, so let's go ahead and work this one out. We need to go ahead and move over the 2x. So we're going to do y equals negative 2x plus 5. I want the x on the same side as the y, so we're going to add 2x to both sides. And we get 2x plus y equals 5. And since our a value is already positive, we don't need to do anything. And we have integers for our coefficients. So our answer is C. And do remember that on the concept page, it did say that a had to be positive. While technically that actually is the only one that does work. So it's all good. Example 4, find the x-intercept and the y-intercept of the graph negative 2x plus y minus 4 equals 0, and then graph the equation. So the x-intercept is the value of x when y is 0. So that means we're just going to take our original equation and substitute 0 in for y. And so now we have negative 2x equals 4, because what they did here is they went ahead and added 4 to both sides. And now we're going to divide, they divided each side by negative 2 to get x equals negative 2. So the x-intercept is negative 2, so it crosses the x-axis at negative 2, 0. You would plot this point on your graph as one of the points you would use to draw the graph. So next we're going to head and find our y-intercept. So this is when our x value is 0. We ask what y is. So we're going to substitute in 0 for x. And then we're going to head again, add 4 to both sides so that we can isolate y after that. And we have y equals 4. So our y-intercept is 4, which is the coordinate point 0, 4. So we're going to use the order pairs that we just got to plot our points. So we would, here is our y-intercept, notice that's on the y-axis, and on the x-axis we plot negative 2 and we draw a line between the two. All right, here is your u-try. Go ahead and determine the x and y-intercepts of the graph of 3x minus y plus 6 equals 0. Pause as needed for you to go ahead and have time to work this out. All right, so we're going to go ahead and determine our x-intercept. So that means that is when y is 0. So we're going to plug in 0 for y. When we do that, we get 3x plus 6 equals 0. So we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And we're going to get 3x equals negative 6. We're going to divide each side by 3. And we get x equals negative 2. So then we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to plug in 0 for x. So then we get 0 minus y plus 6 equals 0. This time I'm going to head and move the y over since it is negative. So we're going to add y to both sides. And so 0 plus 6 is 6, and that equals y. And with that, our answer is A. That is the end of the notes for today. Do make sure you took some good notes. If you need to go back and watch the video again, go ahead and do that. And then I will see you in class.